Ripple just made yet another huge purchase. This is likely the most important coin purchase we have seen so far. With the purchase that Ripple just made, cryptocurrency will never be the same. XRP will now have a value that has never been seen before. To all of you guys, this is a huge hit by Ripple. In this movie, we'll explain why it's so important. Make sure you stay for the whole thing. At the end of the film, we'll also talk about some very interesting trade war topics. Guys, not many people really get how good this is for the whole economy of digital assets. Your help is very much appreciated as always. Thanks a lot. Thank you to everyone who liked the movies and signed up for the channel. These two easy things help me a lot. Also, if you know a good place to buy XRP, please let me know. You can find my best change up hold down in the video's description. That being said, those are right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. I want to start this movie by quickly going over Ripple's history of acquisitions because they keep blowing it out of the water. They keep buying companies that no one is talking about because they're not really hot, but those companies end up being important infrastructure for some of the world's biggest banks, and they always pick the right time to buy them. In the last two big deals that Ripple has made, Medico and now Hidden River, they basically bought the fear because they saw the market going down and knew that their favorite companies were about to go on sale for a very low price. When everyone else was scared, they went in and bought important infrastructure that they will now build into their main answer. It's a big win for everyone, but from a management point of view, it doesn't get much better than this. Ripple is buying these companies for incredibly low prices when everyone else is scared. Most of the time, people buy businesses when they're afraid of missing out, FOMO, the market is booming, or they think AI is a big deal. We'll quickly miss out on AI. Go out and buy someone. It doesn't matter how much we pay. This is how most of these purchases are carried out. But Ripple has a lot more thought behind it. They think the market has a problem that they haven't really solved yet. They take it easy. They work with other people. Once they have a good relationship with each other, they tell each other, when the next down market comes around, we'll just buy you, integrate you, and then get our tentacles deeper into these big banks. Soon, any bank that wants to get into crypto will have to go through Ripple. And their plan to buy this important infrastructure is nothing less than brilliant. When banks want to get into Bitcoin in the future, Ripple is the only place they need to go. I'm going to spend the rest of this movie going over this acquisition in more detail and explaining why it's such a big deal. It's important to note, though, that Ripple continues to have very smart management that can pull off deals like this even when markets are down. This is a huge deal that can't be overstated. A huge thank you to Brad Garlinghouse and the rest of Ripple's management team. We're going to talk about Brad Garlinghouse's post right now, because I thought it was really great. He drops a lot of gold in this and just lays out his case for how Hidden Road, Ripple's new purchase, works. I think I've already talked about Hidden River and how Hidden Road is an important part of the next age of finance. So Brad Garlinghouse sent out a tweet. Hidden Road was bought by Ripple for $1.25 billion today. This is one of the biggest deals in the history of cryptocurrency. The price isn't the most important thing, though. The deal gives crypto fans a once-in-a-lifetime chance to get into the biggest and safest traditional markets, and the same goes for the traditional markets. Not only did Brad Garlinghouse say that this was the biggest cryptocurrency deal ever, but he also said that it was the first time that regular banks could really start using blockchain settlement. Later he says that prime brokers and other important roles that banks use to mostly handle, like Hidden Road, have shown that they are the best way for the biggest hedge funds, market makers, over-the-counter OTC teams, quant traders, and more to work with each other. Hidden Road has been a customer of Ripple for years, so we know how knowledgeable they are because they clear $3 trillion a year for more than 300 of the world's largest banks. Wow, that's a lot to unpack. This company has been a Ripple partner for a while, so they know exactly what they're getting. They know what the rewards are. They know that this company is already working with 300 of the biggest banks and moving a huge amount of money, $3 trillion a year. It's a catch-all now. If Ripple wasn't already working with one of these banks for global coin settlement and liquidity, or if Ripple wasn't already a custody partner through Medico, right now they need to be partners with one of the big banks, and those banks are now directly connected to the XRP system. That's what we'll talk about next. After that, Brad Garlinghouse says that the prime brokerage service includes deals across assets, in crypto, and in the usual way. We can see that this plan is directly linked to the XRP ledger. It involves taking one of the world's largest markets, worth billions of dollars every year, and adding it to the XRP ledger using both XRP and RLUSD as direct funding. With this deal and Ripple's strong balance sheet behind it, Hidden Road will be able to serve its pipeline much more efficiently and grow to become the world's biggest non-bank prime broker. When put together, Ripple and Hidden Road are a huge step forward that will really connect the worlds of traditional and decentralized banking. Guys, this is the most important thing you can buy. Having this new payment system is one of the most difficult things we've been going through. The internet has this cutting-edge banking system built right in. But none of the people who are used to the old system are really part of the new one. In other words, Ripple is saying, let's take one of the biggest players and make blockchain infrastructure the core settlement layer. This will allow trillions of dollars worth of real transactions and settlements to happen on the XRP ledger. This is what I've been waiting for, the holy grail. These are financial companies that already use the XRP ledger to settle transactions with each other around the world. This won't happen right away. There won't be a boom of trillions across the XRP grid like there was yesterday. Ripple, on the other hand, is building a network of tentacles that reach into all of the world's big banks, where they can't pick how to make their next generation of goods. They need to use Ripple because it's already set up there. If an institutional player wants to get into cryptocurrency, Ripple is now the only place they need to go. The XRP ledger is at the heart of everything they do, from custody to OTC settlement to cross-border liquidity to being a full-fledged prime brokerage that uses blockchain technology on the back end. Everyone, this is a huge deal for Ripple. Once more, they did it. They've said it again. You know what? While everyone else is looking in a different direction, we are going to keep buying important assets that will bring trillions of dollars to the decentralized financial system every year by a long shot. Ripple is the leader in bringing these answers to the world of traditional finance. Ripple is building the lines that will put great technology right in front of people when it's time. Everyone else is working on technology that might one day be great. It's already built. There is already a market. There is already money available. Also, guess what? It already has all the features you wanted to build. This is how you grow. Ripple is still going over and over to show that they are miles ahead of everyone else. Now that I've said all that, I want to quickly change the subject and talk about the trade war. I know that a lot of people are watching the prices of assets go crazy and are really wondering what will happen next. It's important for people to understand that this doesn't make things better for what XRP was meant to do, even though it has a short-term effect on asset prices. This morning, Saul sent out a tweet. To him, a currency war between China and the US would be the best thing that could happen for XRP, and he's right. Quickly, I want to talk about why. I thought that everyone got along, which was one of my most bearish ideas about XRP, that everyone just chose to use USD and that there was no reason for all these different money units. It was going to be agreed upon that the US would be the boss, which would be fine with everyone. All of them would agree to use USD. And they would keep saying that USD is the standard for all currencies and assets. And if that happened, XRP would lose a lot of its value. We don't live in that world, though. We are living in a world of trade wars.